What's up, family? Welcome to episode 12 of Men vs. Ego, the power of positive friends. Today, I have a good friend of mine that helped me out tremendously in the beginning of this whole podcast journey. My friend, Garrick Jordan.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? So my name is Garrick Jordan. I'm here, South Carolina. I met probably in Texas, during my last day there because, I got my orders to move here coming from Bahrain at the time. So I had to spend the short, 2 or 3 months out there with them. And I wish it was longer, but during that short time, we got really close. And now, we're brothers. So I wouldn't trade him anything for the world.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate you, man. And like I said before, thank you so much for helping me out in this whole podcast journey. You were the first one to lend me a hand and everything. And it's not as easy as it looks, man. A lot of editing, a lot of things in the background that people don't know, they just see the finished product.
Yeah. Spent hours on it. But, I was up supporting fellow artists, every time they, ask me about how do you edit, how do you do this, how do you dance, so I always share what I know.
Yeah.
Hopefully they follow through with it. And I'm so happy that you followed through with it.
No, thank you, bro. And I had people like you that have my back. And this is the whole episode, the power of positive friends, right? And positive people like you help me for sure, push me over that hump of the procrastination hump and everything. And so I thank you again, man. There's no better way to say thank you. But if you're cool getting it started, man, let's get it started.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right.
Let's go.
How the impact of positive friendships, right? How the people you surround yourself with influence your mindset of success. You want to give it a go, man?
Yeah, I'll give it a go. So positive friendship really has a good influence on your mindset, right? Especially me, I can speak from experience. So I had super strict parents. So every time I wanted to do something, there's always no, see, so finish school first before, chasing my dreams. So they think my dreams is just a dream and a real job is better, right? So I was like that for the longest until I met some friends who were also artists. And for some reason, at the time, believe it or not, I was an introvert. I kept to myself. But then I have extroverted friends who adopted me to the lifestyle, So every time I would try to do something, they'd be the one to push it. You want to do it? Do it. So it gave me positive influence, and I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of people along the way that were like that. I ended up adopting that personality. So I said to myself, it's my way of giving back for the people that shaped me to be, they want to shape me to be who I am today. So sharing that same positive light.
I see what you mean. You're passing it forward. You're paying it forward. But yeah, you're definitely one of the people that influenced me, man, for sure. With the whole, like I said in the beginning, with the whole podcast thing and everything. At first, I didn't want to edit. I didn't want to edit anything. I'm like, I don't know this, man. I don't know how to edit. But then, truth be told, I'm like, if you want your version of your podcast, you're gonna have to edit it, man. You can't expect everybody another person to know what you want and how do you like it. So I had to learn, but I had you to teach me along the way, man. Get a new camera, get a better high quality computer, better mics, et cetera, man. And I took your advice, and I now have a better camera. Now I have a better stuff for my podcast. The science behind positivity and how it affects mental and physical health, man. I'll take a stab at it, this one. I think surrounding yourself with good people. There's a saying that says, tell me who you hang out with and I'll tell you who you are, right? It's kind of like that. So to me, if I'm surrounding myself with people that do good, they're hardworking, that take care of their psyche, their mental health, their physical health, they're runners, they're active outside. It's like when you put a piece of mold, in a good way, right? Bear with me. You put a piece of mold on another bread. The bread has a piece of mold, and you put another bread next to it. That mold's gonna eventually move over to the other bread that doesn't have any mold. Well, flip it. That positivity is gonna move over to the other friends. It's gonna attract your vibe, attracts your tribe. And to me, having positive friends around me, man, has helped my mental and physical health tremendously. Because nobody wants to be the friend that always brings the negativity. For example, like, let's all go to the movies. I don't feel like it. It's always upbeat. You always want to have good people around you, bro. What about you?
Right. Yeah, that's why my motto is see my backdrop. It's kind of reversed, but it's such good vibes.
Yeah, I see it,
So I
man.
try to, yeah, I try to, get that vibe. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's always good to have positive friends, because, you have your work or when you were younger, with school, right? Whatever you're doing outside your circle, you always have to have that circle. There's that logic phrase called "No man is an island," right? Kept alone. So it's always good to be with positive people. Remember, like, if you're always by yourself and alone, then you start having like, bad thoughts, and that's where an idle mind's devil's playground.
Yeah.
So if you have somebody who's always there with you, who's positive, then, you have a better life. Like,
Yeah.
I was lucky enough, like when I moved here, when I met you guys, I had a lot of good friends now in Texas. I had my breaking crew, you guys. I think that's it. And then that Filipino family that I introduced you to. So imagine I don't have a family here. I don't have a wife. I don't have kids. So it's literally just me. Imagine if I didn't have that positive vibe and just by myself. I don't know why
Yeah.
people,
Yeah, man. You probably wouldn't be in the place you are now.
especially with our kind of job,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
exposed to a lot of negativity and
Exactly.
toxicity and, having that positive vibe to get out of that negativity and toxicity. It's like a breath of fresh air,
No,
it kind of
no.
brightens your spirit.
I'm hearing you, bro. I'm hearing you. And you're definitely a person that brightens up the spirit, man. Sure. I'm
Yeah,
sure that I
I
can,
try.
that the
I'm sure
rest
that
of
I
the
can,
people
yeah.
that are our friends in the little friend group we had, they can all say, yeah, Jay was the glue. Jay was the guy who knew where to go. He would give us, what do you call it? Not reservations, but that's a word for it. I'll look for it up later. But you were the guy, the guru, the know-how, the always positive friend, and everything, man. You would go out your way to, for a birthday, you would go out your way to make sure, like, you would bring a present over. Anything you can help, you would. Always looking out for other people, man. And thank you for that.
Yes, of course.
Sign of a positive friend encourages your growth and celebrates your success. Well, here we are, right? I asked you to
That's
come
right.
on the podcast, man, and you didn't hesitate. You're like, hell yeah, man, let's go, let's get on this. And then
Of course.
I appreciate that. And I always see your break. Oh, by the way, Jay break dances. If that's was not said earlier, he breaks dances. I don't know if you want to
Yeah.
elaborate on that.
Yeah, I just got into that. Well, that's the reason why I'm also into, so that also helped in my positive growth because, the dance crew that I joined, kept me out of trouble. So rather than going out partying and drinking, we would do that too, of course, right? But the majority of the time we would be rehearsing, for a show or a competition. So that's where I spent most of my time when I was younger. And then I missed it. So rather than saying, being that guy that, oh, I used to do this, I used to do that, I just went back and just do it. So again, like when you said, was it a positive friend? What was it?
Yeah,
You
the power of
said,
positive friends,
you're
the
right,
people you surround
right?
yourself
So I
with.
had a friend. Yeah. So they're the ones that actually, motivating me to get back into it. I have a friend named Kobe. Shout out to Kobe. But he's actually he's a Red Bull BC1 dancer now and everything. He has a crew. But he was the one who's like, hey bro, like, why don't you just just get into it? I'm sure you still got the move. And then so I'm like, but I'm old. I can't do this anymore, right? So rather than making all these negative thoughts about your age, and then how about because you don't practice, all you do is just practice, time in, and just learn the basics. Here I am, 3 years later, still at it.
You still at it, man.
After 7 years from stopping.
Man, I'm telling you, at that age, man, you're
You
you still got it, Jay. You still got it. So don't doubt yourself on that, man. But yeah, basically, friends that help you stay accountable to your goals and values.
Correct.
Yeah, like your
They
friend Kobe.
encourage me. Like, because a lot of friends encourage me to keep at it. Like I have a parkour friend also who encouraged me to, keep learning my flip. So many times he would, check up on me. Hey, how you been? What you been up to, man? Hey, do you want to come to my gym? We can practice. I was like, I need all the North Carolina right now. So I would go down there and, you know, do some sessions with them. But then I get positive friends encouraging, you know, each other.
Oh
So
yeah,
like
that's
you, when you say like, oh man, I need to do this, and then, I would help you out. Yeah, come on, do it, man. You got this. In the beginning of the time, I remember when your YouTube idea was just an idea. Remember we were in the car driving to wherever event we are
Austin.
going to. I
I
forgot.
think we're going to
Oh, we
Austin.
were going to Austin. Yeah. Then you mentioned that, like, oh man, I want to go. You know what? I think I should do a podcast. I've always wanted to do it, and then I guess without hesitation, you say, why not? Just do it. I got
Yeah.
the skills. I can help you. And then yeah, I don't know. So I was kind of glad that that was kind of, I'm really glad that you went through with it. And rather than just like bring it as a dream and in the back of your head somewhere, you know. So here I am encouraging you to do your thing. And here you are,
Still,
how many years
years
later,
later, yeah,
right?
man. To be honest, I took a hiatus on the podcast thing because
Yeah,
originally
I
it was
noticed.
me and my friend Isaac, but
Okay.
yeah, we kind of, I guess speak for both of us. We kind of stopped, but we should have kept going. Now I'm just by myself, keeping it going. Shout out to Isaac, by the way, and
Yeah, this is good.
hope he's doing well. But yeah, man, I friends like you, man, I keep in my pocket because I know that if I need something, you're not gonna answer right away, but I know that if I need something, you got my back, and I hope you think vice versa, man.
Of course,
It's
yeah.
it's crazy, man, because it took me a while to realize I was kind of mindful at that moment. I'm like, Jay helped me out all this time, but I never really gave him a token of appreciation. And that's when I sent you like the money and everything. I'm like, hey Jay, it's long overdue. I'm so sorry, man. I'm not here to abuse your friendship, but here's the money. Here's some money, man. Thank you so much. So
Appreciate it.
yeah, man. It's something I had to do, something I felt right. It's almost like a delayed apology in a way. But yeah, thank you so much, Jay.
I guess caveat from what you said about you said your apology, like there's nothing to apologize about, you know, because like me when I like to give and then I expect nothing in return, you know. So it's better when you give without expecting anything in return, you know, it's always gonna be good.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
appreciate you for thinking about that.
no, of course, man. And it's not everybody has that mindset. I wish we did as human beings. I wish we had that mindset of if you're gonna give it without expecting anything in return, right? Don't hold it over people's heads. Don't put strings attached. But unfortunately, Jay, after all the books I've been reading, especially The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene, humans have the capacity for to put a to put a dent in some friendships easily. Thank you, Jay, for saying that, man. Another thing too, man.
Yeah.
What about setting boundaries on negative influences?
Oh yeah. So it can always be like a yes man, I guess, or no. So there's certain times where you have to have a boundary because if you don't, people will walk all over you. And I've experienced that because naturally I'm a nice guy, naturally, right? My nature, I
You
can't
are.
help it. So I had to be taught to set boundaries because, you know, if you get burnt out, you'll be the guy that people always ask for money or, you know, your time, you know, your effort. So yeah, setting boundaries is to be healthy for your mental health, you know, that's being the nice guy.
Well, for sure. Yeah. What about in relationships,
Yeah.
Jay? I know we
What
both
about a
shared
relationship?
our past on the way on the car ride to
Oh,
Austin.
way on the car ride.
I don't know if you feel comfortable talking about that.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna force you to, but
No, no, I'm fine. Yeah. Same thing. But then with your relationship with your significant other, it's a lot closer, right? Because, you know, you love that person. So you do anything and everything you can for that person. And I just realized, you know, I think I did, it's because I gave everything and not setting boundaries. I don't know, like taking advantage of.
yeah. No, people wear masks, Jay,
No, people.
and they choose what mask to wear so they can you can kind of lower down your defenses. And when you say you're a yes,
Yeah,
you said you're a nice guy and you usually like to help out people, but you can't be a yes man all the time because if you are, they're gonna run all over you. They're gonna use you. They're gonna manipulate you, and it's just not good, man. It's not good for your energy. It's not good for your psyche, and the one who ends up losing is gonna be you. So you kind of have to put up those boundaries, man. And I spoke on
exactly.
my previous podcast episodes about how you can feel that energy from a person that you don't even know, but energy wise, you can sense something's off. All right. So I like feeling that type of deal too. I don't know about you. Do you feel like that type of
Yeah, I
energy?
have that now. I do.
Mm.
I could tell,
Yeah.
like, I think I had it before, right? But then, you know, when you try not to judge, so like, I feel it. It's like a small voice in your head saying that you shouldn't talk to that person, but you know, you're like, but I'm here already and not doing anything, so might as well. And you just
Yeah.
go full force with it, and then fortunately, point in there. As you know, as
Yeah.
time goes by, you try to not, you know, what's the word?
Benefit of the
Yeah, the
doubt.
word at the moment. Yeah, basically, yes, the benefit of the doubt. So you try not to have the benefit of the doubt with people, but I guess you have to listen to that small voice in your head, especially you have that, I guess, a high sense of, so we're empaths, you know, where we can feel the person, feelings, like that, or
Yeah.
the vibe, the aura.
The the aura, the
So
vibe.
if I say, yeah. So if I say like you're not a good vibe, so I try to distance myself from them now. Exhausting having to be with the negative vibe all the time. You know, you try to be the positive one, but then if they can't take it in and change themselves and, you know, try to be, you know, the positive person can be,
No,
it's
100%,
gonna,
man. You ever
it's
heard of
pretty
a?
energy dry.
I'm about to say that. You ever heard of an energy vampire?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Man, it looks like that.
So those like energy vampires, man. They just come in here and they like to like take all your vibe, your goodness, and then they leave you feeling like dull and numb. It's just not good, man. Anyway, man, if you're cool, moving on. It goes together. Letting go of negative friendships.
So during my high school, like best friends, high school friends, that, you know, go together, did everything together. But I get to grow apart as we got older. If one stuck in the middle, his brand, I'm guessing he did. It's like, you know, but like his name, like sorry, his mindset. So high school, we all go. I joined the military. A lot of my other friends joined the military or have like federal jobs, good job. But then him was still stuck in like playing video games. Like wasn't really well with doing video games, like collecting stuff, right? But you had priorities too. And then you start complaining about your finances. So that's what I'm getting into. So like, why would you, and it would, if you were always, we would give you that advice like, hey, once you get this job, you know, it pays more and you have benefits. But, oh, but this job I got, you know, I want to work for Xbox. It's like, uh, pays a lot higher. And I'm like, yeah, but it's a contract job. You need to have something that's stable. And anytime, anyway, like long story short, we would find him a job, then we would buy things beyond his finances, and then we go broke and money in and out. This dude is always asking for money. Like, we're not a bank, you know, we have our needs too. I had like two friends who were like that who would always ask for money because of their situation. And then we would give them advice. We would show them where to apply for jobs, and then they would not apply for it. It was like, you're wasting my time. I'm the one doing the research. I know what your background is. I grew up with you. So I know what
Yeah.
your education status is. I know what your skill is. So here I am looking, you know, spending my time doing a job for you. And then say, here, apply for this. You know, I'm like basically handing you something that, you know, that I know you can do. And then, oh no, you know, it's hard. I don't know if I can do that. I was like, I know your skill. I know you can do this. If I didn't think you could do this, I wouldn't have given it to you. So to me, it felt like it was draining. So like every time you ask me for advice, and then I take the time to research it, and then I give you the advice, and then you don't follow it. It makes me angry. It makes me angry.
It's kind of like
So
a slap
then
to
I
the
decide to
face.
just like, you know what? Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, just do your own thing then. If you don't want to listen to me anyway, I don't know what to do. So now I have to cut them off and say, you know, don't ask me for anything anymore, because every time I try to help you out and I give you an opportunity and you don't take it, it's
Yeah.
like you're wasting my time.
There's I always quote this book, man, but the 48 Laws of Power, there's a law that says avoid the unlucky. Um,
Yes. That's a good book.
and yeah, I forgot what law number it is, but it's one of the laws, avoid the unlucky. And it seems like, your friend just didn't know how to balance his money, and maybe he wanted other people to do things for him that he felt like I got my friends to do it for me. It's like, nah, man, you got to take responsibility of your own actions, of your own income, of your own life. And
Right.
yeah,
Those,
man, the unlucky people will drag you down, man. You don't need drama in your life. Your life's enough. It's filled with drama already. Why
oh,
would you
it's
want
filled with
somebody
drama
else's
already.
drama in
Why would you want somebody else?
it? I mean, whatever. It could be a small drama, it could be a
Whatever.
big
And
drama,
it could be,
but it's still drama, and you don't need that, man. You don't need other people's drama in your life. Your life's enough, and as long as you know how to navigate that, you should be fine. Anything else with that friend, man? Anything?
oh yeah, like, you know how I am, right? I'm a good guy. So I don't, I would cut them off, but then they're outside my circle. So I call it, so I have a circle, right? You have your circle of friends that you
Hmm.
keep close to you inside, right? And then you have if you break your trust or whatever, then I would take them outside that circle. But then I would cut them off completely. 'Cause I don't know, I can't do it for some reason. For some reason, I can't do it. I don't know, I tried my best to do it, but I won't put as much effort, energy into helping out, like, you know, unless you like laugh to death or something. Yeah, I won't put the same energy as I did before.
And I don't blame you. Thank you for sharing that, Jay. What about the strategies for distancing yourself with kindness and integrity? In other words, like, don't be like the people that hurt you, your friends or your acquaintances that hurt you. How would you distance yourself from them with kindness and integrity? Check it out, man. Meditations, the book by Marcus Aurelius. He says the best revenge to someone who inflicted hurt on you is not to be like them, right? That means don't whatever they did to you, don't do it back to them. You know that old saying, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. It's like,
Yeah.
just cut it off. Just cut it off. That's it. You know, you don't have to give them no explanation. They know. I mean, if they have any sort of reason up in their noggin, they'll know. They're like, yeah, man, I manipulated this guy, or I really hurt him, or not, or maybe not. People usually take a long time to come to fruition about that certain type of things, but it's just my take on it, man.
All right, that's about okay. Yeah, you can see me an idea. So actually, I do that. When I say I cut people off completely, well, it helps that we move our lot, that we move when we PCS basis. What you call it, us moving around, kind of help me distance myself. But the ones that I don't like, of course, when I move, when I keep in touch with people, I keep in touch. Right, I would call myself, text, do my best to like visit. I would even take the time to visit, when I can or have the budget to. Well, that's the time. That's how I am. But then if I were to cut you off completely, I won't even like message you anymore. So yeah, I would do the same. I would just cut them off and
Yeah.
just ignore them. Yeah. Eat it for social media.
Even the social media, yeah, because you're gonna want to
Even the
be looking
social
like
media.
how they're doing, or you don't want, or maybe you just don't want their feed up in your stories or up in your
Or right. Or them just
yeah,
might be what I'm doing.
exactly. Like, man, I don't need you, man. I didn't need you before, and I don't need you after, so you're fine. But live your life,
Right.
man.
Yeah,
Just
I
don't
think
come in
that's the
mine.
best way to do it. Yeah, that's the best way to do it rather than having to, you know, to fight,
Yeah,
arguing over nothing.
yeah. No need. No
Better
need.
just, I guess, ghost them.
Yeah, man. What about the importance of making space for healthier relationships?
Yes, space is very important. So my dad, right, like he was really good at doing some adages and some like phrases. One phrase he would always tell me like was to give them a chance to miss you. Because when I was younger, I always used to like, if I like one person, I was like, I have a really good friend. I always wanted to see him. I want to see him every day. I want to hang out with him every day, go to the house every day. And then they made a point, like, I try not to be that person where you're going to be annoying. So space would be a good time to get a chance to miss each other.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know if you notice, ever since like we would hang out for a bit, then I would like do my own thing and then be away from everybody for a while.
And then we would miss
Give
you.
myself space and we're missing. Exactly. So I do it here too. Like, so the families, like those families I would be with, they always invite me to their house. And before I would say yes, I go. And then there's certain days I would think like, oh, I'm always here. So I don't want to think like, I know it's not a good way to think that, but to me, I always think that I don't want them to think I might annoy them, or they might find something about me that will get annoyed. Or I could give them that space, to make them miss them.
No, yeah.
Yeah, space gives you a good time to think about, spend time with your family too, and then also reflect on your friendship, and oh, that's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah, man. And absolutely. And I would add to that, to like, if you're if you're in a relationship, you fell in love with that significant other because of how they are. And if you want to come in there and move things around already, it's like, whoa, time out. You fell in love with me because of this, that, and the third. Well, this is what I do. I go fishing. I go to the gym every Monday. Or like, I like getting my car cleaned or, put whatever example in there. And
Right.
not
Yeah,
necessarily that not
your
necessarily that they're bad people. Yeah, it's schedule. Yeah, you're trying to change the person's schedule, but like, instead of changing the person's
or
schedule,
routine. Sorry.
understand. Yeah, exactly. Their routine, their schedule. Understand that hey, they have a life too. You're in it, but don't try to change them at your convenience to convenience you. Because at the first,
Right.
before when you were starting dating or getting to know each other, you didn't care about that stuff. You didn't care that he or she went to the gym every Monday or had a routine or a schedule. But now that you're in it, it's like, yeah, I want to change this, that, or that. No, give that person the same space that you gave them prior to the relationship. You know, let them be their own person because that's the person you fell in love with,
Yeah.
right? But
Right. And
you
then that
said,
way we don't feel like a prison.
yeah, yeah, because nah, I'm afraid to ask my girlfriend or my significant other or my boyfriend, like, why should you be afraid to ask? Oh, I just don't want no drama. I don't want them to flip out. Like, I can wait. It's like you said, you're in a cage. You're afraid to walk on eggshells because anything you say can and will be used against you in a way, right? You don't want that, man. You should be able to express yourself the way you want to. If life is short, man, and we both know that.
Life is
But
short.
yeah, just don't be in a birdcage.
Your
Let
birthday.
each other come and
Remember,
go. Obviously, love each other, but don't try to manipulate the situation to your convenience. In other words, and
that's right.
you said something earlier
You
about
said something
absence,
earlier
about being gone,
about being
right?
gone.
Yeah, you said something about being gone. You said so they
Yeah,
can miss
like
you.
giving yourself time to miss you.
Yes. So there's a law.
Right. And
There's
plus,
another law. I'll say it real
oh,
quick.
there you go.
Use absence to create respect and honor, or something like that. Use absence to create respect or honor, along those lines. But for sure, it's use absence, right? And I'm like, man, Jay, okay, we're spending
Yeah.
some knowledge right now. Can I say something?
Yeah. Plus, it gives you time. Yeah, I was gonna say like also about the relationships part, right? So if you keep your own hobbies and then you don't, and you keep your own hobbies, you continue your own routine, even though you're together, would make a great strong relationship because you're still doing your own thing. Your own thing meaning like you're keeping your schedule, not going to like seeing other girls or seeing other guys, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because you're together, and so you have that trust that well, at least you have something to talk about, outside. So what did you do today? Oh, I went to the gym. Oh, I enjoy it. So if, for example, your significant other doesn't go to the gym, but you do, so you can invite her to go to the gym with you, but not be working out together. Things like that. Like you have your schedule or your hobbies that makes you happy, and then your
yeah,
significant other, doesn't do the same thing as you, but then you can trade off. You can do, for example, you can do her hobbies or whatever she likes to do, and then she can join you what you like to do. So
yeah.
that would be fun. To me, that's fun.
No, that absolutely, share each other's hobbies, but don't force them to
Right.
like your hobbies. That's the thing. Don't force it, because when you
Right, right.
force it,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like,
Don't force.
okay, yeah, don't force. Let them come on their own accord.
Yeah.
Let them choose, and they should choose. If they like, if the person, the other half, likes your hobbies, or at least tries them, you should give the same benefit. Let's try their hobbies, but you shouldn't feel forced to try each other's hobbies, because at that point in time, you're like, yeah, you're back in the birdcage. But yeah, Jay, what else, brother? What else you got?
Yeah, yeah. Also, you get a chance to talk about your day. Having that space also creates time with yourself. You get to reflect and see things outside what you do together. Then you have the time to talk about it at the end of the day when you're home, rather than when you guys are together every day, everywhere. You're like, so what you do? I was with you. Remember? Oh, that's right. You were with me. So what you talk about? You're with each other the whole time. So that's also
Yeah,
another reason why it's good to have space, because you have your own life outside your the two of you. But then again, when they say outside your own life, they get it wrong with when you say outside your own life. And if you're seeing outside people outside, that's not what I mean. Meaning, taking care of hobbies that you're doing, your job or whatever, and then you can still talk to having friends outside too. It's like opposite sex. You can have
yeah,
guy friends, but then you have boundaries. When if you're a guy, then you have your girl friends, but also have your boundaries. Making a relationship
exactly.
experience, like in a relationship sense. So yeah, you know that I have a boyfriend, husband, whatever, wife, girlfriend, and then just enjoy it. And then so you come back home and like, oh, how was your day? Like, oh, with professional, we had a good time. Well, we would have
Yeah,
been friends, then getting that trust, like, but that's good. No, you don't have to feel jealous or anything. And then yeah, you have something to talk about, and you won't feel like you're in a cage, and
yeah, man. You don't want to feel like you're in a
be a
cage.
good time. So
Freaking
that's what a space does. Space creates read, and that sense of breathe,
space lets you create chemistry because it lets you be your own person.
right? Mm-hmm. That plus you be closer to each other too, because
Yeah. Yeah. And then when another person comes into your space, you'll welcome them. Or when you go to their space, they welcome you. But it shouldn't be like my space or the highway.
space, mind space or the high.
So I think we should end end
I think
this in a positive note, man. Unless you got any other alibis to add to that.
that's good.
No?
I'd say my piece.
Okay. Well, what about seeking out environments where uplifting people gather? Like, for example, groups, breakdancing classes,
Mhm.
maybe if
Yeah,
a sporting
church too. It's
event,
fun.
church, it could be anything.
Yeah, like recently here, I met a called a Christian church called KCPC English Ministry. At first, I was going to go there just for my birthday. I knew you on my birthday, so I'll go to church one time, and like, just thank God that I lived another year. So that's my usual routine. I'm not much of a church person, honest. But when I met this group, they're like the adult youth ministry, so they would be like they would do activities uh basically almost every week. But I kind of encouraged me to join them because it's like a positive vibe. You know, they're not very like church like. You know, they just want to have a good time too and good people. And then so I have friends here in South Carolina. I'm in Sumter, where I stay, right? The little group, but then they're all married and don't have kids. So I couldn't do the things I wanted to do because you're not kids. But this group, yeah, they're married, but then they all do like bowling and all the fun stuff they're out doing. So I was invited one time, and I've been going ever since. And then so that's another thing I was saying, being in a positive group. So they would, make you feel like you're not alone. And then, yeah, you're not alone.
No, you're never alone, man.
And then doing the activities together. They always invite me every, like, Tuesday would be pickleball. Then Thursdays we would go out. Like every first Thursday of the month we would do something fun. We went to escape room, eat dinner together. Like last Thursday we went to Dave and Buster's. So things like that. A group that does activities. So like, hey, just like my people, this is what I like to do too. I was like, when we were hanging out as a group, right? We were that group of friends who would always like, I would think of, oh, like on the weekends, I would think of something to do. So like that. So that's the kind of I was looking for, the one that actually do stuff outside or here. Something small, like there's not much to do. Like how we live in Killeen, remember? But I think Killeen is more developed. So, but anyway, I'm not bashing something. I'm just saying. But
No, yeah.
back to my point. Back to the point. So having a group, a positive group that just want to do something fun with each other, it's like the best feeling ever.
For sure, man.
For sure.
That's the whole reason when we started hanging out with each
Well,
other,
when you started hanging out with
we made a little group. I think, yeah, you were part of it. It's like the foodie group. We used to go eat food. The weekend crew. We would want to go out to new places every weekend. I remember you took us to the coffee spot. Like that was me, man. I wanna enjoy new things that I haven't been to yet.
Right.
Thanks to you. Oh, I know this spot. I know that spot. We can go here. We can go over there.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, man. And then slowly but surely, our little friend group grew into like what 3-4 people now. We went to the Mexico soccer game in Dallas. Remember that?
Yes, that was fun. No, that was my first
That
soccer
was
game too.
that was cool, man. And it's like it's kind of like what you said about your new friends, and family, and something. It's like you got to find the people in the events that you like to do, or
Right.
the lifestyle that you like. If you like skateboarding, I'm pretty sure you're gonna find friends in skate parks. If you like breakdancing, I'm pretty
Right.
sure you're gonna find friends in break dancing studios, or anything, man. Like if you like fishing, I can keep going, but I'm not. But no, that's
We're gonna
awesome,
go
Jay.
on and on.
Yeah, we can give awesome examples, and no, it never ends with examples. Nah, Jay, what else, man? What are we missing? I feel like we're missing something, man. Anything else? Anything you want to leave off?
We did it help you stay accountable to your goals and values. Just guided to make a positive friend of yourself.
How about this? How about we leave it off at discussing famous friendships that have led to great
Oh,
success?
there again.
We'll leave it out that,
Famous
man.
friendship.
We'll see what we do. Any examples?
Famous friendships.
Yeah, any famous friendships, man?
I mean, like with celebrities.
It doesn't have to be celebrities, man. It could be you said you mentioned that you met your friend Kobe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he has his own dance crew.
Now he's like somewhat famous now. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, in the breaking scene. So I don't know people outside that wouldn't know who he is, but it's nice to see when you've known each other first, before they became how they are now, but then you've always been supportive. That's the thing I was saying. So when you support someone from the beginning, and then when they become famous and they're up there, they still just have that humble, that humbleness, humility.
Yeah.
So that's what I appreciate about him. Me and my friend Joseph. I have another friend named Joe, so he's also another great dancer and a great friend of mine that I wish you all would meet someday. Us three, we're mostly the close one that actively, competes and dances when we can. And we all support each other in our craft. Having famous persons with Jabberwocky and, doing the Red Bull PC1, Red Bull events. And then
Yeah.
we would still message him on WhatsApp. Hey, bro, how you doing? And then if we have the time to go to Vegas and visit him, we would, crazy events. He would drop by even for a short moment. He'd hang out with us, talk to us, do a little session with us, and go about his day. He has family too as well, with wife and kids. So he doesn't have the time to hang out with us like us. We're single with no kids. So priorities, not that big.
Yeah, no, I know.
So that's another thing about having, famous friends that you help see grow, and then keeping that friendship and that positivity to, keep motivating each other. So when you see them in stories, like, oh, I'm having a hard time, like, I'm tired. Or even if it's not tired, but then even though you see them doing good things, you were always continually setting positive vibes. Okay, good job with that competition, bro.
No, for sure, man.
Just keep the positive energy out there. Like with you guys, every time you guys do something awesome in your stories, I would comment, hey, that's fire. Hey, keep at it. Congratulations on your promotion. So it's good to give that positive feedback.
100%, man. And that's how you know you got real friends, right? The ones that you said that stick with you on the bottom when you were starting off, whether it be a dream of yours or whatever, and they still stick by you and treat you any differently when you're well known around the world now, well known person now.
Like you could be like, hit that 100K. And then I'm like, hey, I know that guy when he started his podcast.
Yeah, I helped that guy. But no, things like that, Jay. And I can't thank you enough for everything you've been so supportive from the beginning of this podcast. And that's why this episode's to pay you homage, man, to pay you the thank yous that you helped me, and maybe to share a little bit about your story, for sure, man. And to share a little bit about your story about how you like editing and breakdancing, and you're just a positive person all around, and how I'm so blessed to call you a friend and to have met you in my lifetime. And I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And I hope that the rest of your time up there in the Carolinas go well, even better. And yeah, man, you just know that you have a brother with me.
Sure. You know what I mean? I'll make the time to visit someday and continue to support your dream. And I really hope you make it up there, though. I keep checking in on you.
Thanks, Jay.
Then make sure you put your link in your stories.
Yeah, put my link in my stories. I got it.
And get that YouTube plaque.
Yeah, get the YouTube plaque.
That's YouTube plaque. Let's go.
Might take a couple of years, but I got you. Nah, Jay, I got nothing else, man. I think this is a great podcast episode. Do you want to leave it off with anything before we say deuces? What you got?
So I want us to keep to the topic, right? As a positive friendship, continue to, love each other, grow together, and always, support one another, no matter where you go, where you are, what you do, because having that positive friend in your life will always be, something that will affect you in a positive light in the future.
Use discernment. That means use rightful judgment on like what type of friends, keep around. Disclaimer. Yeah, we're just two friends here. We're not giving any legal advice. We're just saying. All right.
Right. Choose your friends
sharing
wisely,
our experiences. Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Choose your friends wisely. And try not to be too nice and set boundaries. There's healthy boundaries. It's also good for your mental health.
All right, Jay. I got nothing else, man.